Okay, so in this short video, we are going to be using ArgoCD to deploy our mission critical application to our Kubernetes cluster, in which case this is a Minikube cluster running locally on our desktop. So what we first want to do is, let's go in here. Let's do a kubectl get namespace. Okay, we've got ArgoCD running in here. You can see here I'm already logged in. But let's do a kubectl get pods. And I think we're going to go to Pacman. Okay, not there. So let's do a watch. And hopefully we're quick enough. So let's say Pacman. Let's say project is default. We're going to say sync policy is manual. We're going to say auto create the namespace because we haven't done that. Our repository URL is going to be this Git repository. And in fact, what is the path? I believe. So to just bring this into this window. Okay, so all of the YAML configuration files are embedded into these folders. So recursively, to go through those, we hit a dot in there. And don't do that. Pacman, project default, auto create namespace, git repository, path is dot, cluster URL is local, namespace is going to be Pacman, directory recursive as well we can put there. And I think that should, if we hit create and then we go into this, you'll see that it has gone through our repository. It's found that our namespace of Pacman consists of a Mongo storage PVC, a secret, a service for Mongo, a service for Pacman, a deployment for Mongo, a deployment for Pacman, and then some other areas in there, some cluster role bindings, etc. So at this point, there is still nothing going on. But if we hit sync now, and we've got auto create namespace already on, so hit synchronize. And I'm hoping the first thing that happens is that we create the namespace. And then you can start to see, okay, obviously we're only looking at pods here. So we're starting to pull down the pod or the images for Pacman and Mongo. Now the deployment is very simple out of the box, is that it is Mongo 1. In fact, I've updated this to be a stateful set as well, but for the demo it doesn't really matter. Basically 1 of 1. So we're waiting for them pods to initialize and come up. And once that's happened, so this is going to pull the images down. And once that's happened, I'm not really bothered about showing the actual application and port forwarding things out for us to see. I just want to show the benefits of ArgoCD and how now if we and actually go from whatever this version is, so getting everything deployed, and let's say this is version 1, we're going to go then into our GitHub repository and we're going to go and make a change to something, maybe replicas, maybe something, just to simulate that version 2. And when we've got that version 2, we're then going to have to manually come back into ArgoCD and hit sync again. But you saw that when I created the application, we could have that dynamically sync, as in any change, and it will poll everything in the production or in the GitHub repository. So I think the benefit here is, one, obviously this would look after our deployment of our software. There we go. So Mongo's up. But also it just means that we can deploy this to multiple other environments for test purposes, which is great if you've been in control of the whole application development cycle, so the whole CI piece. But maybe you haven't, and maybe you've just got off-the-shelf software. Maybe Pacman is an off-the-shelf piece of software that incorporates into your wider strategy and it's just deployed there. We can absolutely use ArgoCD to be able to deploy out for that as well. So we're just waiting for Pacman to come up. You can see there something's happening. It doesn't Don't think it takes too long. And then we'll jump back into Argo just to show what that looks like. You can see here that we've got some ticks going on. You can see that the Pacman deployment is still scurrying around. These replica sets are updating themselves. Pods are still coming up. So it gives us a nice visual as well of what's going on with that. So, yep, still waiting. We can also jump in there. You can see like the manifest and you can see what's going on. I believe that you can go into events. Okay, so something's not happy. So readiness probe isn't coming up. Okay, so it probably isn't gonna come up as we want. But anyway, in fact, a good way of fixing this, let's go, this branch is 5 commits behind where we got it from Dean Lewis. So let's go and fetch all of that. And we've obviously done that now. So now everything is a little bit more up to date. We can now hit that's what I want. And then synchronize. So it's still going to be trying to do that other one, but if we go back to our watching now, it's going to terminate all the existing. In fact, Pacman there, look, it came back up. So I was a bit premature in jumping ahead, but now what we're doing is we're simulating and going from whatever that 5 versions back was, and now we're bringing in whatever that new is. So we should start to see all of that good stuff come up again. And I really want to see that app health in the corner here as healthy. But you can see here that Pacman was good and Mongo was good, but we're now deploying our service as well. That's in the... So let's kill that and let's just have a quick look as to... Yeah, so everything looks good there. And if we do a get all namespace Pacman, everything looks pretty good there. Apart from... so the reason why that is actually pending still in here is because we've set to load balancer. We don't have a load balancer on Minikube, so it's always going to be going to that. But this was a very short video in terms of being able to show going from version 1 to version 2 and the benefits of being able to leverage ArgoCD to perform that task.